All right, hello, Idiots on Parade, the Too Ugly for TV podcast. We mock the news so you don't have to. Hello, Jake.
How's it going?
All is well here. That is Jake Vevra, my good friend and stand-up comedian in New York City. I am Nathan Timmel, stand-up comedian in Iowa City. And Jake, I got to experience a little of your life a couple days ago. The Canadian wildfires blew smoke into Iowa. New York had it last week, and
Nice.
except we could still see, to quote The Who, for miles and miles. I believe that was a Who song. It was just sort of like, oh, is there a haze? And then I looked it up and like, yeah, it was across the Midwest. So
Yeah. Ours was super orange. So
yeah. Damn you,
it
Canada.
it was fun. I actually like the city better when it's on fire. So
Nothing wrong with that. Happy first Father's Day to you, Jake.
oh, happy several Father's Day to you.
Yes. Let's jump in. This first one is the last story I sent you because it just popped up I had sent you a bunch of stories to talk about, and then this came out of nowhere. Oh, I closed it. God damn it. Hold on, I got to reopen it. That's my bad. I accidentally clicked on. There we go. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle called, quote, fucking grifters by Spotify executive and podcaster Bill Simmons after their split with the company. A couple days ago, I saw this. I did not send you the ad. They signed a $20 million deal with Spotify last year. And a couple days ago, the news hit that they were done with Spotify. They had one season of Meghan's podcast, and apparently nobody listened to it, so it ended. I don't know. I didn't read that article. I don't know if she was upset that they canceled the podcast or if they decided not to do it, because the whole point is they took $20 million. They didn't do shit and they quit. Here is my take. You don't get to be angry at grifters if they show you they're grifters from a mile away. If the instant Meghan Markle and Prince Harry say, hey, give us money, and you say, oh, sure, anything that happens after that is on you.
They, you know what it is? I think the media really kind of pushed them on us, us like Americans.
Yeah,
and America doesn't care about the royal family for the most part. Even people that decide they're too good to be a princess and prince or whatever, like, we still don't give a shit about them. So,
and we shouldn't.
We don't. It's crazy. So the fact that he should be able to see past that and know, like, oh, this is just something that they're pushing to people that do not give a shit about this at all. So if he's the one who gave him 20 minutes, him calling them fucking grifters by using that harsh a term, he's inadvertently calling himself stupid.
Yes.
Because it's like, you're the one who got fucking grifted for 20 mil, dude.
Yep, exactly. And as I said, anyone could have seen this coming. Anyone could have said, these people have no talent. They have nothing to offer. Why are you giving them a platform to produce bullshit that they think is going to what you just said something that reminded me of an obscure reference that no one will understand. Do you know who Sam Worthington is?
No.
He's an actor, and around the time of the first Avatar, Hollywood tried to make him. Like, he was in a movie called Man on a Ledge. They put him in a Terminator, and it was he was going to be the next big thing. Hollywood was just like, Sam Worthington's in this movie from Avatar, and no one was interested. Everyone, that guy from Avatar, okay. So he had like one or two supposed blockbusters that failed, and then he just sort of disappeared and went about his life acting until Avatar 2. But that's the media tried to make them. Hollywood got behind Sam Worthington. I don't know who thought pushing Meghan, and maybe they liked the drama. And I think you said it the other week, this would work in England. If you're going to pay them $20 million for a podcast that's a hit in England, or maybe all of Europe or other, but why here?
Spotify's
why
international,
here?
Right?
It is. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
Why were we seeing it here in American media? And I get it. If they can pull a big audience elsewhere, great. We just shouldn't have seen ads for it here.
When even that is a tough one in England, though, too, because for the most part, the only people who would be interested in this are people that are into the royal family, and people that are into the royal family over there aren't going to be into these two because they wipe their ass with the royal family. So it's one of those catch-22 kind of things. They have no audience because the only people who would sort of be interested in them would also strongly dislike them. So you got to make them like a heel. You got to get a podcast in England with a royal family member, and then these two show up and bomb it every now and then.
You're discussing two things. You're discussing like the WWE of podcasting. They need to be the when The Rock was the bad guy. Other bad guys, villains. I don't know who the other bad guy, but you know what I mean. They always had a good guy and a bad guy. There was a rivalry.
Do you smell what Meghan Markle's cooking?
Yes.
That should be the name of the podcast.
The other thing you reminded me of is it slipped my mind. Fuck. A heel. Fuck it, it's gone. I had it, then I lost it. Just fuck it, move on. But either way, you got burned for 20 million. Don't try and blame the grifters. Everyone knew they had no talent. You gave them 20 million.
Here's a thought. Maybe give 20 million to a podcast that's already a thing and already doing well. I don't know. Maybe you should do that.
Hey, remember Spotify, how Joe Rogan had the #1 podcast and you said, if we get him and make him exclusive on our platform, it'll be worth it. That seemed to work out for them. So why 20 million? They gave Joe Rogan had the #1 podcast in the world. They gave 2 untested losers with no talent 1/5 the money they gave him. That does not seem like good economics.
Right. At least see if they're good at it. Maybe they have terrible chemistry on the mic, like they look like they probably do off the mic.
Hey, Jake, do you know what happens every spring in Hollywood? They have something called pilot season, where they film 1 episode of an idea. And if they like the way it looks and it gets the laughs they want or the tears or the drama, whatever they're filming, they film 1 episode and then they workshop it and they put it in front of audiences. Hey, would you watch this? Would you not watch this? Executives furrow their brow and rub their chin and go, is this something we want to invest millions of dollars on? Hollywood, maybe they should have had them sit down and record an episode and then put it out there. Hey, would you listen to this? Maybe they should have done a pilot episode and just instead of just backing up the Brinks truck and throwing money at these 2 losers. And I call them losers. They're living in a mansion with $20 million. I'm in a basement. So perspective.
What the John McCain campaign did with Sarah Palin, you did with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, you fucking idiot. And then you dare to call them grifters. Well, then I'm calling you dumb.
Yes. It's not grifting if you go in. Honestly, we want your money. We have no talent. All right. This amused me. We've got a lot of stuff that I think I can put together. So I'm doing these little one-offs first. New details emerge about the alleged search history of the Utah mom charged with her husband's murder. We saw this a couple months ago. I don't think you and I talked about, hey, I don't want to tell murderers how to do their job. But if you are going to murder someone, maybe don't Google ways to murder your husband or how much fentanyl can kill my husband. This happened with a dude a couple months ago, and here we are again. They're Googling all these ways to kill their spouse, and the cops just go right to it. Like, all right, let's look at your browser. That's like an old hack joke. Hey, when I die, clear my browser history because there's porn. Murderers should be like, hey, after my husband's dead, I should clear my search history, except it's out there in the ether and Google has it. But still, I'm going to stand up as you talk because there's a little furry creature trapped in my window well. I want to get a look at it, and I want to remember it's there so that after we're done, I'm going to have to scoop it out and put it in the yard.
What kind of creature?
I can't tell if it's a mole or a vole.
I don't know what a vole is. Is that like an evil mole? Like a Voldemort mole?
More prominent snout, I believe. I can't tell. It's all curled up. I can see it's moving, so it's alive, but it got trapped between the window and the screen somehow. I do not know. There's a little hole. I guess it chewed its way through the screen, and now it's trapped in there. So, all right, I'll get it out after the podcast. This is good podcasting, everyone. You're here to watch me talk about little furry creatures in my window well.
But here's the thing. The other voles are going to see what that vole did and be like, I should not chew my way into a screen. Otherwise, I may not be able to get back out.
Oh, I should make an example of this one.
Yes. See, they're voles are smarter people than this lady, basically, because there's a pretty famous story that we were talking about before. You know what I mean? She would have had to scroll past a story where a guy got caught murdering someone because of his search history to see the results of said search history.
Yes, yeah. The thing The fentanyl is what it was. How much fentanyl does it take to kill? I can't find the exact quote, but literally she was going to try and blame it on, oh, he was addicted something and got alleged fentanyl purchases before husband's death. We've talked about the word alleged on here before. If they have receipts, if they have like a video of her buying the shit, the media just loves to cover its own ass.
It's pretty wild. Yeah.
He had about 5 times the lethal dosage of fentanyl in his system. I'm not smart, I'll admit that first, but I'm always reading stories that like a micron that could fit on the head of a pin could kill a city. 5 times the dose. Like, how much did he have in his system?
Yeah, and why is fentanyl produced legally? It seems unnecessary.
Is it like ivermectin, where you have good fentanyl and bad fentanyl? Like you have ivermectin for that is for horse worms, and then a different brand for humans, and they're taking the horse ivermectin or horse fentanyl and giving it to us. I don't know.
It could be. It could be. I mean, yeah, it seems like those things are made to I don't know, amputate fins off of humpback whales. So why the fuck are they being sold for human people? Was morphine not enough? Was anyone sitting there on morphine going, this does nothing? I need something stronger.
The question I ask, was morphine broken? Was morphine broken? I think the same thing. My goddamn family is seeing the Little Mermaid remake right now, and my question was the first one broken? Was there any reason to modernize it, or is it literally they're out of ideas and they just want to make live action because they can't dream up a new script, so they have to just remake an old one?
Some people are so racist that they don't like that there's a black mermaid. I'm so racist, I didn't even like when there was an Irish one. I mean, I was like, what the fuck? No, get back on the goddamn boat, Ariel.
Goddamn ginger mermaid, a red-haired Irish. All right, Jake.
Fucking potato fish is what she is.
Have you seen the guy online? I think his profile is "You Can Be Anybody Online." He speaks in a very droll voice and creates fake profiles. Like, he was one of the first guys to create like a fake, I'm going to make this up, American Airlines Twitter account. And then he would respond to people as American Airlines. Like, they would complain, I had a bad flight. We're sorry.
I don't think it's not ringing a bell. No.
Well, that's what I'm doing a bad job describing. If anybody out there knows who I'm talking about, that's what this reminds me of. Russia claims it blew up advanced Ukrainian tank, but video shows its helicopter attacked a tractor. It blew up farm equipment. Like, in Russia's mind, we could be anyone. We're blowing up tanks. And then as they release the footage, they're like, nah, that looks like a cement mixer. That's a combine. That's a tractor.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd imagine that a lot of their video technology on those aircraft is a little bit behind the times. And I know, little over 10 years ago when I was in Afghanistan, we had a PTIDS thing. It was like a blimp that had a bunch of stuff on there. And when it zoomed out far away, man, it's fucking hard to kind of tell what shit is in night vision. You know what I mean? It's two-tone. It's very pixelated. And yeah, I mean, that's going to happen. But you should definitely double check before you go bragging.
Before you release a press statement.
Oh, yeah.
They're pointing their thermal camera at 3 vehicles that appear to be harvesters, and their first target they're hitting is most likely a sprayer. Well, take that, farmer. Your crop of wheat, I believe, is what Ukraine has huge stores of, is not coming in because it still hurts the war effort for Ukraine. I mean, if they can't harvest wheat and sell it and feed the soldiers, I mean, Russia could have bragged on that. Ha ha, we're hurting morale. We're blowing up supply chain. They could have done that.
If we can't get them out, we will starve them out. We're going for the wheat.
Russia, why aren't you watching our podcast and taking? We're here feeding you the lines you need to use in your propaganda. God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, Stalin hated farmers too, I mean, what do you those goddamn farmers causing fucking problems over there.
To be fair to Russia, tank crews operating at the front lines typically conceal themselves in vegetation or behind buildings. If you're hitting them from above with like planes and missiles and shit, and you're using drones to, I'm not sure hiding behind a building is really going to do much good when you've got an eagle eye view.
Well, it will. It depends on, if they're flying,
if they're far away, like you said.
Yeah, they're not going to see the thing on the side of the building. So yeah, I mean, yeah, concealment's good. You definitely
Yeah,
want
I'm not
that.
saying don't try and hide them. I just say behind a building. Like if you've got an eagle eye view, that's no good.
No, because the eagle eye is from a certain point, and it
Mm.
sees outward, and so if yeah, I mean, if that thing happens to be right on top of it, then it'll see it. But those things look for miles, and so depending on where it's at, yeah, building would be the only way to hide a tank, really.
Jake, got one for you. Why not put it in the barn?
In the barn.
Well, I suppose it was farm equipment, so my brain went to barn, but I mean, tanks could be anywhere. So maybe there are not that many barns
Well, but
just around.
there's a lot of buildings have doors that are too small for tanks as well.
Yeah, that's true. All right, moving on. Jake,
You really got to commit to drive a tank through a building. That's what set Waco on fire.
Well, it is wartime, and wasn't that was a oh God, wasn't that a James the Rockford Files? Jim McGammon, that was his film. Tank. He was in Tank. Anyway, Jake, I've talked about in the past. Sometimes you get a thumbnail article, and the headline says one thing, and when you click the article, the actual headline says something different. The clickbait that draws you in is different from the so the clickbait article headline that I clicked said children found alive in forest after plane crash. And I went, whoa, that's pretty fucked up. Let's check that out. You click it and it says 4 indigenous children lost in jungle for 40 days after plane crash are found in Colombia. And I really have to take note of the 4 indigenous children because there was absolutely no way that was going to say white people. White kids would get lost and starve to death in a Starbucks without assistance. So that was the only thing I thought of was the fact that, yes, that had to be indigenous people. There was no way whiteies coming out of a plane crash in a jungle or a forest because.
Well, and anyone or anybody who's not like, well, I mean, indigenous doesn't mean you live in the jungle, I guess. It just means you're native to them. Yeah. That's true. Most, unless it's one of those kids, if it's like maybe one of those hunter guys kids, you know,
Michigan militia.
Yeah, one of those, that learns hunting and all that from an early age. Maybe some of them could do it. I think some redneck kids could do it. I think Cajuns would be good if it was kids from the backwaters of Louisiana. They'd be
first
fine.
Plane ride.
You'd show up and they would have like stew cooking on top of an open fire.
A gator strung up to a tree.
Yeah, I found a jungle opossum like critter and I ate it. It's better than regular possum from back in the bayou.
I wrestled it and took it down with my. They wouldn't let me take my Bowie knife on. I took it out with my Swiss Army knife.
Crocodiles is meaner than alligators. I still got them though. Still got them.
All right. As we start to wrap things up, Jake, I wanted to save this toward the end because we're going to do something fun. We have 2 white guys, you and me, and we're going to talk race because nothing is more politically correct than 2 honky Americans talking race.
Oh, let's talk our favorites and least favorites.
I love Inuits. They're my favorite. I almost had a hate crime.
Almost got you. That. Almost canceled yourself.
Almost canceled myself. All right,
almost got a snowball in your face.
That would show me. White Starbucks manager fired amid furor over racism wins $25 million. Jake, remember this was, I can look it up. I'm sure the dates in the article is several years ago. April 2018, 2 black men were kicked out of a Starbucks. Starbucks had that day where they shut all their locations down for racial sensitivity training. All that. Here is what I find amusing about this story. So you have 2 black men in a Starbucks. They are treated horribly. They are treated with suspicion because of their race. And I didn't see in the story, I don't know if you did, when they say manager fired, I did not see the person that won this case was not the manager of that store, was not the person that kicked them out and was fired. This was like the district manager, someone that oversaw 25 locations that wasn't there when this happened.
Oh, I missed that part.
Oh, that's the big part, because it's not like it. This is not the person that said, black people get out, you're firing me, I'm suing. This is someone that was not on site. That there's no training manual that says, if two black men want to use the bathroom, you say no. I mean, this was just like a move by Starbucks for optics, where it's like, well, who's in charge of that? Oh, those 4 states will just
that would be a fun training video. You know what I mean? Hi, I'm actor James Woods. I got a little something to tell you about black people in your restaurant and how to deal with.
Well, it's funny because it says it's a surprise twist. I'm not sure if that's a surprise, because where she oversaw 100 stores in Philadelphia, southern New Jersey, Delaware, and parts of Maryland. She had been promoted to the job in 2011, so she'd been on the job for 7 years. Exemplary performance in 6 years as a district manager in Ohio. And this happened in where? Jersey, in Rittenhouse, Philadelphia. This happened in Philadelphia. So she's building her way to the top, busting that glass ceiling. This woman is rising star, and they throw her under the bus. And then it says, in a surprise, if I'm on that jury, I'm just going, wait. This is the district manager. She wasn't there. She did not have a policy of having black men removed. Yeah, she was made a sacrificial lamb. Give her all the Starbucks money in the world. But the one thing I can't find, as I said, I don't see that the manager of that actual location was fired. During this time of crisis, Philadelphia market needed a leader who could perform, adding that Miss Phillips failed in every aspect of that role.
All right, I'm guessing yes. However, originally I missed that this was the district supervisor, and I was thinking, well, if the store does indeed have a policy where you must buy something to use the bathroom, you can't really fire the fucking manager. So you have to go up and be like, well, who signed off on what the policy was? And it's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I oversee all the store policies, like I am the district manager, and yeah, that was in there that you have to buy something to use the bathroom. Granted, it was probably in there before she was the district manager. I'm guessing it goes back to, I don't know, maybe all of them. But yeah, I mean, you can't really rightly fire somebody for following their store's policy to the T. Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
I highly doubt any policy says, don't let anyone use the bathroom without a purchase unless they're white. Like, that's not, if it says make a purchase, use the bathroom, and that's the way it should be. Like, but here's the best part. The part I said I missed, I just found it. In contrast, no action was taken against the manager who oversaw that store, a black man who had promoted the employee who called the police. So the manager of the racist Starbucks store was black, and the police got called, and the white woman that was the district. It's just first of all, nobody in this situation, I think, is guilty of racism overall. I don't know. I wasn't.
No, if anything, the guy that called the store was just being a bit of a dick. Like, yeah. Look, we just returned a rental car, and it had a smidget of dog hair in it. You know what I mean? Like we're pretty good about wiping it out. And it's a small dog, and technically it's a policy you can't have them in there. Yeah. We've turned it back in with a tiny bit of hair like that. It's never really been a problem. Some cunt there charged us $75. I didn't turn it back in.
Cleaning fee?
But she charges cleaning fee. Now, apparently my wife said, she still had a mask on. Like, she's still masked up in 2023. So you know that she's got a fucking great sense of humor, and no
daddy issues.
Yeah. So that is technically the policy. Like, we don't have a leg to stand on if we try to sue. And if they all get fired, like, they wouldn't get fired for that because there was dog hair in the car. If we sued, if me or my wife said, look, I am Elizabeth Warren's great grandnephew, which makes me part Cherokee. My people have dealt with shit like this for centuries. First Trail of Tears, and now this is a racial injustice. And if we tried suing, and then they just enterprise panic, like, oh, we are so sorry, we're gonna give her the old tomahawk chop. This lady who did this, You know,
Not the lady that did it, the lady that was her supervisor's supervisor.
right? Yeah, well, that would be even dumber. But let's say they did. You know, it would they would have to figure out some way to navigate it because that employee, while being a bit of a cunt face, and yeah, like being way too much of a stickler and fucking sucks. And I feel bad for whatever guy's going home with her. Jesus Christ. Let that guy forget to do the dishes once. He'll never hear the end of it. She'll be screaming at him and nagging him through the mask.
It's
Right?
just me. Take the mask off. No, no,
Like,
no,
don't get me
no,
wrong.
no,
I
no.
hope this woman is killed in a car crash immediately after leaving work. However, she can't leave there without a job because she followed the rules. It's just she was a way stickler about it than she needed to be, and the way everybody else was, and it was a bit of a cunt. So, either my point being, if you're a company and you decide if the company were to decide we're going to fire her because this became some national thing and it got like hyper racialized and all this, you're gonna have to fucking pay off the sacrificial lamb because you fired them for following the shit to the T. That was, I guarantee that was in the rules somewhere. If you make a purchase, then
you see it almost
use
every gas station, like no
Right.
restroom without purchase. Gas stations fucking make a living off that in cities.
So and the fact that they would not fire the manager because the manager was black, so they went to the boss's boss. Who's the nearest person to them in the chain of command who's white? How dare racist? Yeah, how could you fire this bigot, or how could you hire this bigot? This I don't know, this guy who's black but racist against black. I don't know. Somehow this is your
he's
fault.
a living
We're
Dave
firing
Chappelle
you.
character.
Right. Yeah. You hired Clayton Bigsby to
I
run a
couldn't think of the name.
Starbucks.
Thank
So
you.
we're not going to fire Clayton Bigsby. We're going to fire you. If that's what you want to do to try to pander to people in the news and look, we're down with the cause. If that's what you're going to do, fine. But you're going to have to fucking slip her some money because she's not going to just go, oh, yeah, you're going to fire me from if you're a district manager, you're making some money. Like,
Yeah.
You're going to have to give her some money because she's not just going to walk away because not her, but somebody underneath her did something that was completely within the guidelines of the company.
Yeah. And if you don't feel you did anything wrong, you're not going to take it lying down.
No.
All right. Not
25 million seemed a bit steep.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, she wasn't going to make that all the way through retirement, but whatever.
No, it said like 600,000 was compensatory, and then the other 25 was punitive. It seems a lot. It seems like it's a little bit much for what the hell they did, but yeah, I mean, you got to expect something. If you're going to make somebody the sacrificial lamb for doing something that was within the rules, then you're going to have to fucking pay them off.
Yes. All right. One more, two white guys talking about race issues. A Michigan school cut a 7-year-old biracial girl's hair, but she won in the end. I hate this story because the media turned it into, and I think her dad did too, turned it into a race-based issue. You read the article, and this little girl had her hair cut by staff. Oh, that's not it. There was another point. Bugga.
He had it cut by a kid on the bus, right?
Well, she had an asymmetrical cut. 2 days later, she came with both sides cut. So the overall, let's start here. Should people at a school be cutting a kid's hair? No. Were they doing it because you have who was that quote, black hair? Was it nappy? No, it was a little girl whose hair didn't match, and they went, oh, little girl, let's make your hair match, let's make it even, let's give you a hair. And the dad was like, how dare you cut my biracial daughter's hair? It's like, okay, they fucked up. They should not be cutting hair. Their hearts were in the right place. Wrong move. Had nothing to do with race. Not everything has to be to race. It wasn't like they looked at her and said, oh, that's a black haircut, we need to change that. They literally said, and I think they even say in the article that they found it had nothing to do with race, that it was literally trying to do an act of kindness, but fucking up because you're at school. You're not supposed to be cutting someone's hair.
No, and it says right here the haircut issue stemmed from another school related incident just days prior.
Yeah.
She was on the bus and her fellow classmate, another student, cut her hair with scissors. So they were trying to like fix what some goofy fucking kid did on the bus. Hey, yeah, you should call the like you're stupid for not calling the parents first and let them know, hey, look, it's lopsided. Some kid was fucking around with scissors on the bus. You want us to take her to a hair salon? Like
Miss
you gotta
Jeannie
get
in
the
the
okay
library
for
used to
person.
be a stylist. She can even it up. Would you like us to do it for free? Yeah.
Yeah, like you just you know, or you just send the kid home and go, yeah, some fucking kid on the bus. I don't know. They're kids. They cut each other's hair sometimes. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, on Thursday, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed the Crown Act, or Creating a Respectful and Open World for Natural Hair, into law, making Michigan the 20th state to ban discrimination based on natural hair texture in the workplace and school. Okay, that's good. You know, if you can get the job done, it doesn't matter what color your skin is, what your hair looks like. America has a horrible history of shaving heads and trying to make people conform and fit in. I get it. I agree with all of it. That's not the case here. Don't fucking turn this into something it's not just for clicks, you fucking asshole cunt pieces of shit.
In another article, it says that Marjorie Taylor Greene has introduced a bill called the mowing the cornrows act, and she don't like cornrows, man. She believes they only belong in fields.
We got time for one more story. Let's bang it out really quick. We talked about this last week. More Trump lawyers quit over the past couple of days due to conflict of interest. But my favorite, Trump indictment shows critical evidence came for one of his own lawyers. Trump was telling his own lawyers to hide the files and cheat and cover up. And if I don't know the name of the law, but attorney-client privilege goes out the window if the attorney is covering for a client he knows to be guilty, and they were able to present that case and see the notes he took and discovered, yeah, they're colluding to keep Trump. It's not like he's saying, Your Honor, I'm going to defend my my client who I believe is innocent. No, I'm full on collusion, full on guilt. It makes me laugh. I just laugh. I can't fucking believe
it's pretty hilarious. Yeah, I guess he was hiding other shit from his lawyers too, and so his lawyers quit. And yeah, I mean, it's
every one of his lawyers has quit. And how does he keep getting people to sign up? He never pays them. He promised Rudy Giuliani like $2 million a day or something stupid.
You would be better off spending your time and money buying scratch tickets than defending this man in court to try to make money at this point. Just take the money from your last gig or whatever the hell, you know, your money you're going to make for your next gig.
The ambulance all on lottery and won the settlement on.
Yeah. There's no way he's paying the next guys.
No. All right. Find Jake at
Dude, in fact, you know what? If I'm one of his lawyers that just quit, I'm waiting till he hires new lawyers, and then I'm gonna go into the courthouse and heckle his lawyer and go, "Hey, you in the red tie, he's not gonna pay you. I had your gig before you. He didn't pay me. I'm fucking 2 mortgage payments behind now."
I'm bringing this full circle. This is exactly how we started this podcast. If you are a lawyer who signs up to defend Trump thinking you're going to get paid, you are as dumb as the guys that gave Meghan and Prince Harry $20 million. You got to know it. This is not new. This is not the first time this happened. This was news in 2016. How many bills this guy does not pay, how many small vendors he does not pay, all the people he does not pay. So if you're signing on going, I'm going to sign a contract, I'm going to make millions defending Trump, good on you, fuckface. Let me know how that works out for you.
Yeah, I heard Joe Tacopino is now financing a morning talk show with Harry and Meghan.
Well, there you go. And what's Michael Cohen up to? Oh, wait, he's out of prison. What's shit, I used the wrong name. Who's the guy that's in jail for Nike? Pretty boy.
Michael Avenatti.
Avenatti, yes, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody involved in that case is lawyers needed lawyers. It was crazy.
All right. Find Jake at jakevevra.com on all the socials. Find me at nathantimmel.com. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We will yap at you next week. Jake, in closing, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.